My cousin emptied my son's surgery fund while my sister helped cover it up, so I let them smile, until one move shattered everything they built. I'm Jenna, 34, female, single mom to my awesome kid Lucas, who's 7. He was born with a heart defect that needs surgery to fix. It's not like he's going to die tomorrow without it, but it seriously limits his life. He gets winded going upstairs, can't play with other kids without getting all blue in the face, and has to sit out during PE and stuff. The surgery would basically give him a normal childhood, let him run around without getting dizzy or tired after 5 minutes. You know, basic kid stuff that most parents don't even think about. I've been busting my ass as a nurse for the past 2 years, working double shifts to save up for this surgery. $188,000. Do you have any idea how many bedpans you have to empty to save that kind of money? How many holidays and weekends you miss with your kid? But whatever, I did it. Every extra penny went straight into that account. Some backstory. I got divorced 3 years ago when I was 7 months pregnant. I found texts on my husband Mike's phone that made it pretty damn clear he was screwing around. He didn't even try to deny it, just shrugged and said, "It happens." He wouldn't tell me who she was, just that it was someone I knew and that it was complicated. Real stand-up guy. I kicked his ass out, had Lucas alone, and filed for divorce. Mike pays child support when he remembers, rarely, and sees Lucas even less. My family acts all weird about it at gatherings, like I'm some charity case. Poor Jenna couldn't keep her man happy. Meanwhile, whoever he cheated with got to keep her reputation intact while I'm the sad, divorced mom. My sister Olivia is the golden child of the family, always has been. She got the college fund, I got life experience. Her wedding cost more than my car. She's a pediatrician, married to James, a finance bro, with the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood and their perfect kids. Our parents think she shits rainbows. Anyway, my cousin Amber moved in with Olivia about 6 months ago. After some bad breakup, she started coming over to my place all the time, playing with Lucas, bringing him little dollar store toys. I thought it was nice of her. She kept asking about the surgery, when it was scheduled, which hospital, how much it cost. She seemed really concerned. I actually thought, wow, at least someone in this family gives a crap about Lucas besides me. Now, the thing is, last Friday, I was at work when I got a notification from my bank app about unusual activity. I checked my accounts during my break and almost passed out. Multiple transfers over the past week had completely emptied my surgery fund. $188,000. Gone. My hands were shaking so bad I spilled coffee all over my scrubs. I called the bank right away, desperately hoping for some mistake, a glitch, an error, anything that wasn't what I feared. But the rep on the phone shut that hope down fast. The transfers had come from my home IP address, from my own laptop. To the bank, it all looked legit. My hands clenched into fists. I knew I didn't make those transfers. I'm paranoid about my passwords, never write them down, never save them, never share them. But if it wasn't a hack, then... I swallowed hard. Had I somehow messed up? I was exhausted all the time, working double shifts, running on fumes. Had I accidentally transferred money, paid something twice? I fumbled to check my transaction history, my fingers shaking so badly I kept mistyping my password. I scrolled through the list, checking and rechecking. No mistakes, no accidental transfers, just multiple withdrawals, small at first, then bigger, until the final one that left my account empty. Someone had done this on purpose. My stomach twisted as I forced myself to think, who even knew about the surgery fund? It had to be someone who knew how much was in there, someone who had access to my house. I rubbed my forehead, my brain racing through possibilities. Lucas's school? No, they wouldn't have touched it. A banking scam? No, the transfers came from my own damn Wi-Fi. That's when my mind flashed to Amber. Amber, who had been in my house constantly for months, watching Lucas, using my Wi-Fi, always on her laptop. Amber, who had been so interested in the surgery fund, who kept asking questions. When's the surgery? Which hospital? How much does it cost? Pretending to be concerned. My chest tightened. Had she been fishing for information this whole time? I tried calling her, but no answer. Texted, nothing. Then I opened Instagram and felt like I'd been punched in the gut. There's Amber posting from an airport, Dubai-bound, first-class upgrade, living my best life. Then another pic with champagne in hand. Then the Burj Khalifa, designer shopping bags, fancy restaurants. My blood started boiling. I knew for a fact she didn't have that kind of money. She had been unemployed for months. The only person with that amount of cash was me. A chill ran down my spine. Had she really? No, I needed answers. I needed confirmation. So I called my sister Olivia, and she acted all shocked. Amber mentioned a trip, but I thought she'd been saving up. She used my laptop sometimes to job hunt, Jenna. I had no idea. Something felt off about how she said it. Amber was unemployed and crashing on Olivia's couch. Where the hell would she get money for a luxury Dubai trip? It had to be Lucas's surgery fund, since she was so interested in it recently. That night, my neighbor Tina came over with dinner. She'd seen me rush home from work, crying. When I told her what happened, she got this weird look. Jenna, I wasn't going to say anything because I figured they were your guests, but I've seen Olivia's car here a lot recently, times when you were at work. That's impossible. Olivia hasn't been to my place in weeks. I'm positive. That white Audi SUV with the "My Child is an Honor Student" bumper sticker? It was here last Tuesday when you were working the late shift and Thursday afternoon too. Everything started clicking into place. Times when money was transferred, times when I was definitely at work, times when supposedly only Amber was watching Lucas. When Lucas saw me crying that night, he brought me his favorite stuffed dinosaur and said, "Don't worry, Mommy. Rex will protect your heart." Meanwhile, the money that was supposed to fix his heart was buying my cousin cocktails in freaking Dubai. I didn't even know what to do. The surgery was scheduled for the next month, and at that point I had to call and cancel it. How do I tell my 7-year-old that someone he trusted stole his chance to be normal, that his own family cared more about luxury vacations than his ability to breathe properly? I started gathering evidence like my life depended on it. Screenshots of the bank transfers, timestamps, Amber's social media posts showing exactly when and where she was spending the money. I even printed them out and made a timeline, like those crime boards you see in detective shows. My dining table looked like something from Criminal Minds, but something still wasn't adding up. How did she get my passwords? I don't save them on my laptop. I don't write them down anywhere. And some of the transfers happened while I was at work, when Amber wasn't even at my house. So I called my internet provider and asked for my router's connection history. The customer service guy was like, "Ma'am, we don't usually provide that without a police report." But I literally started crying on the phone and told him someone stole my son's heart surgery money. Guess my ugly crying worked, because he put me on hold and then came back and agreed to email me the logs. When I got them, boom, exactly what I suspected. Among the devices connected to my Wi-Fi were Olivia's MacBook and Amber's iPhone, at times when I was 100% at work, times that perfectly matched some of the transfers. So then I called Lucas's school and spoke to his teacher. "I need to verify something. Has anyone besides me picked up Lucas recently?" "Yes, your sister Olivia picked him up twice last week, Tuesday and Thursday. You sent a note, remember? I never sent any note." My stomach dropped through the floor. I drove to my bank and spoke to a manager in person. Showed him the connection logs, explained my suspicions. Someone forged pickup notes at my son's school. They were in my house when I wasn't home, then $188,000 disappears, and my cousin suddenly posts about her luxury Dubai trip. This isn't a coincidence. The manager was sympathetic but kept saying the same thing. Since the transfers came from my home network and my own laptop, it looked like authorized activity. But he agreed to flag the account and start a fraud investigation, warning it could take weeks. After like 3 days of calling and texting non-stop, Amber finally answered on WhatsApp. Her profile pic showed her lounging at some infinity pool with the Dubai skyline behind her. When I confronted her about taking Lucas's surgery money, her response made me want to throw my phone into a wall. "OMG, Jenna, don't be so dramatic. It's not like he's dying right this second. Kids are resilient. Besides, I really needed this trip after everything I've been through. I'll pay you back eventually. Family helps family, right?" I took screenshots of everything and forwarded them to Olivia. "Your house guest stole my son's heart surgery money. I have proof she was at my house when I wasn't home. Either you help me get it back, or I'm going to the police." Olivia called immediately, her voice weirdly calm. "Jenna, this is a misunderstanding. Amber mentioned borrowing some money from you, but I had no idea it was that much. Let's talk about this in person when she gets back." "Borrowing?" She cleared out my account and is posting about her luxury Dubai vacation. "That's not borrowing, that's stealing." "Keep your voice down," she hissed. "This is a family matter. We don't need the police involved. Think about how it would look to Mom and Dad." That's when it clicked. Olivia knew. She had to know. Why else would she be more worried about appearances than about her nephew's surgery money? That night, I had to tell Lucas that his surgery would be delayed. I tried to make it sound like just a reschedule, not a cancellation. He nodded, all brave, but his little face fell. "That's okay, Mommy. I can wait a little longer to be a superhero." Then he showed me this keychain of the Burj Khalifa that Amber had given him before she left. "Look, Cousin Amber is there now." I had to go to the bathroom so he wouldn't see me throw up. The next morning, I called the detective handling financial crimes and made an appointment. Then I called Lucas's cardiologist to cancel his pre-op appointment. As I hung up, my phone pinged with a new Instagram notification. Amber posted a selfie from a yacht with the caption, "Some people save for a rainy day. I'd rather be where it never rains." That's when I decided to go nuclear. No more family loyalty, this was about Lucas now. I started digging into why Olivia would help Amber steal from me. It made no sense. Olivia and I aren't close, but she loves Lucas. At least I thought she did. Why would she help someone steal his surgery money? The detective I met with was actually super understanding. She took one look at Lucas's medical reports and Amber's social media posts and said, "This is pretty clear-cut." They filed the report and said they'd investigate, but warned me that because Amber was out of the country, things might move slowly. Then the family drama exploded. Somehow, Olivia had already gotten to our parents, spinning some bullshit story about how I'd promised to help Amber restart her life, and now I was going back on my word. My mom called, her voice all tight with disappointment, not at Olivia or Amber, but at me. "Why are you making such a fuss? Amber said you offered to help her. She's family, Jenna. Lucas's family too, Mom. That money was for his heart surgery." "Well," she hesitated. "Olivia mentioned you've been making some questionable financial decisions lately. Are you sure you're not just looking for someone to blame?" There it was, the golden child's word against mine, and I was already guilty in their eyes. Story of my fucking life. But this wasn't about me anymore. This was about Lucas. If they weren't going to believe me outright, I'd just have to make sure the truth was so undeniable that even Olivia couldn't weasel her way out of it. So I decided to play detective and figure out why Olivia would help Amber steal from me. I spent a night going through old emails and stuff on my laptop looking for clues. That's when I found something weird, an email confirmation for a hotel booking from back when I was still with Mike. It was forwarded from his email to mine, but I had zero memory of this. The date caught my eye. It was exactly 1 week before I caught him cheating, when I was 7 months pregnant. I called the hotel on a hunch. "Hi, I'm trying to confirm an old reservation. It would have been under Mike or Jenna Thompson." After some back and forth, the clerk confirmed, "Yes, Mr. Thompson stayed with us for 2 nights. Would you like the full folio, please?" It looks like there were room service charges for 2 people, breakfast, dinner, and several bottles of champagne. Pain. My heart was racing. "Was there a name for the second guest?" "I'm sorry, we don't keep that information for that long." I thanked her and hung up, mind spinning. Then I remembered something. Mike had an old iPad he left behind when he moved out. I'd shoved it in a closet, not wanting any reminders of him. I dug it out, charged it up, and found it wasn't password protected. The Photos app was still logged into his iCloud. I scrolled back 3 years, and I swear to God, I almost had a heart attack. There were photos of Mike and Olivia together in a hotel room, kissing. The timestamps matched the hotel stay, all when I was 7 months pregnant with his child. My sister, my own fucking sister, had been sleeping with my husband while I was pregnant. Suddenly, everything made sense. The mysterious woman he wouldn't name, the way Olivia had been weirdly distant during my pregnancy, how she skipped my baby shower claiming she was on call, why she never seemed to want to be in the same room as Mike after we separated. I sat on my bathroom floor and threw up. Then I cried until I had no tears left. Then I got angry. Really, really angry. I called my friend Tina and asked her to watch Lucas for the night. Then I drove straight to Olivia's house. Her perfect house in her perfect neighborhood with her perfect husband, who had no idea what kind of woman he'd married. James answered the door, surprised to see me. "Jenna, everything okay? You look, I need to talk to Olivia. Now." Olivia came to the door, hair perfect, clothes perfect, smile perfect, until she saw my face. "James, can you give us a minute?" she asked, her voice tight. When he left, I held up my phone with the photo of her and Mike displayed. "Is this why you helped Amber steal Lucas's surgery money? Blackmail? She found out about you and Mike." The color drained from her face. She grabbed my arm and pulled me outside onto the porch, closing the door behind us. "Keep your voice down," she hissed. "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like, Olivia? Screwing my husband while I was pregnant? Was that like family helping family?" "It was a mistake," she whispered, tearing up. "A terrible mistake." Mike was persistent. I was weak. It only happened a few times. A few times, while I was carrying his child. She was full on crying now. "Amber found those photos on Mike's old Facebook messages when she was using my laptop. She threatened to show you, to tell James, to tell everyone." I panicked. "So you helped her steal from my son instead? Your own nephew?" "She promised she'd only take a little, just enough for a vacation to clear her head. She said she'd pay it all back before you even noticed." "I swear, Jenna, I didn't know she'd take everything." I laughed, but it came out more like a sob. "And you believed her? The unemployed cousin crashing on your couch who suddenly needed a luxury Dubai vacation?" Olivia wiped her tears, trying to look composed. "Please, Jenna, if this gets out, it will destroy my marriage, my career, everything. You should have thought about that before you slept with my husband, before you helped steal my son's surgery money." Olivia opened her mouth, like she wanted to argue, to spin some excuse, but nothing came out. She just stood there, defeated, tears streaking her perfectly made-up face. I shook my head, feeling nothing but exhaustion. I'm done, Olivia. Done covering for you. Done being the one who loses so you can keep your perfect life. I turned and walked away before she could respond, slamming the door behind me. The next morning, my phone blew up with texts from her. I've been trying to reach Amber. She's not answering. Please give me more time. I'll take out a loan if I have to. Jenna, please talk to me. I ignored them all. Done with the talking, done with the excuses, done being the family doormat. I just focused on documenting everything for the police, bank statements, router logs, forged school pickup notes, social media posts, and yeah, the photos of Olivia and Mike, because they showed motive. Meanwhile, Amber kept posting from Dubai, completely clueless about the shitstorm waiting for her back home. Designer shopping bags, spa treatments, yacht cruises. Then came a post that made me see actual red. A selfie at the Burj Khalifa with the caption, taking in the views from the top. Some people wait their whole lives for experiences like this. I decided to seize the moment instead. No regrets. While my son had to sit on the sidelines watching his friends play the game he'd been dreaming of joining. While I had to look him in the eyes and cancel the surgery that was supposed to change his life. While I swallowed my pride and picked up even more shifts, knowing that every extra hour meant missing another bedtime story, another moment I'd never get back. I wasn't going to let them get away with it. Not this time. I gathered every shred of evidence like I was building a case in court, bank transfers, Amber's smug vacation posts, screenshots of her messages dripping with entitlement, and then I did what they never expected. I hit send. The album went to just a few trusted family members, my Aunt Carol, the only one who had never worshipped the ground Olivia walked on, my Uncle Robert, who saw through the Golden Child Act years ago, and my grandparents, the only people in this family who still had a sense of right and wrong. I didn't include the photos of Mike and Olivia, not yet. That was my nuclear option. But make no mistake, I wasn't just playing defense anymore. It spread like wildfire. Within hours, family members started commenting on Amber's posts. Nice bag. Is that what you bought with your cousin's son's heart surgery money? And how's the view from that moral ground? Olivia called, completely hysterical. What have you done? The whole family is texting me, asking if I knew about this. Did you know, Olivia? I told you, she said she was just borrowing a little. 18,000 is not a little, Olivia. That's 2 years of my life. That's Lucas's chance at a normal heart. I'll fix this, she said, sounding desperate. I'm taking out a loan tomorrow. I'll replace the money, all of it. Just please don't show those photos to James. Don't tell anyone else about Mike and me. Get the money back. Then we'll talk. Amber finally realized the heat was on when family started tagging Dubai authorities in her posts. She suddenly went private, then offline completely. My aunt texted that she was trying to book an early flight home. Then I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was James, Olivia's husband. Jenna, it's James. I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. My heart sank. Had Olivia told him? Was he calling to yell at me? Is it true that Olivia helped Amber take Lucas's surgery money? I hesitated. Yes, the evidence points that way. She admitted it to me. There was a long silence. Then why would she do that? It doesn't make sense. Olivia loves Lucas. I closed my eyes. This was it. I didn't give a fuck about what would happen next. They destroyed my whole life. James, there's something you should know, something I just found out myself. I took a deep breath. 3 years ago, when I was pregnant with Lucas, Olivia and Mike were having an affair. The silence on the other end was deafening. Amber found out somehow, I continued. She was using it to blackmail Olivia. That's why Olivia helped her access my accounts. His voice, when he finally spoke, was barely audible. How do you know this? I found photos on Mike's old iPad. I need to see them, he said. I sent them while we were still on the phone, heard his sharp intake of breath when he opened them. I'll call you back, he said, and hung up. 2 hours later, I got a notification. $188,000 deposited into my account. I stared at the screen, my hands shaking. For a second, I thought it was a mistake, some glitch in the system, but then I saw the sender, James. I burst into tears, a mix of shock, relief, and sheer confusion crashing over me all at once. Why would he do this? He didn't owe me anything. If anything, he had every reason to hate Olivia, to walk away from this whole mess and let her deal with the fallout on her own. But instead, he replaced the money she helped steal from my son. My hands trembled as I typed out a message. James, why? A few minutes later, my phone buzzed, because Lucas shouldn't have to suffer for their mistakes. And just like that, someone in this family finally did the right thing. But not everyone was so lucky. Amber landed back in the U.S. yesterday to find police waiting at the gate. My aunt, who works at the airport, said she made a huge scene, crying about how it was all a misunderstanding, how I'd given her permission to use the money. The officers weren't buying it. She got released on bail, her parents paid, with orders not to leave the state. They took her passport. Welcome home, bitch. The news somehow got picked up by a local station. Local nurse's child surgery fund stolen for luxury Dubai vacation made the evening news. They didn't name names, but everyone in our circle knew exactly who they were talking about. Amber's parents, my Aunt Susan and Uncle Dave, showed up at my apartment yesterday. Susan was ugly crying. Dave looked like he'd aged a decade. We had no idea, Susan kept saying. We thought she'd been saving for this trip. She told us it was her fresh start after the breakup. Dave handed me a cashier's check. We mortgaged our house. It's not the full amount, but it's a start. We'll pay back every penny, Jenna, with interest. I looked at the check. $155,000. Combined with James's $188,000, we now had more than enough for Lucas's surgery. James already replaced the money, I said. Lucas's surgery is back on schedule for next week. This can go toward his college fund, Dave said, or whatever else he needs. Amber will pay us back for it. Susan wiped her raccoon eyes. Is she going to jail? I don't know. That's up to the prosecutor. But I'm not dropping the charges. They nodded, actually understanding. We wouldn't expect you to, Dave said. She needs to face consequences, real ones, not just us grounding her like she's still 16. As they were leaving, Susan turned back. Is it true about Olivia and Mike? Word travels fast, huh? I just nodded. All this time, she sighed, and we all blamed you for the divorce. I'm so sorry, Jenna. Meanwhile, the nuclear fallout with Olivia continues. James moved out and filed for divorce the same day he saw those photos. He's staying at his parents' with their kids while his lawyer prepares to take her to the cleaners. Olivia showed up at my door last night, eyes swollen, looking like she'd been dragged through hell, and honestly good. She deserved worse. James is leaving me, she croaked. He took the kids to his parents. It's over. She stared at me, waiting for something. Pity, comfort, maybe even forgiveness. She wasn't getting any of it. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. So now you know how it feels to have your life ripped apart by someone you trusted. She flinched. Jenna, I made a mistake. With Mike, with Amber, with everything. I'm so sorry. I let out a cold laugh. Oh, I know you're sorry. Not because you hurt me, not because you stole from Lucas. You're sorry because you got caught. If Amber had kept her mouth shut, if James never saw those photos, you'd still be sitting pretty, wouldn't you? Tears slid down her face. Please, I need to know what happens now. Are you going to tell Mom and Dad? Everyone? I tilted my head. Tell them what? That their golden child isn't as perfect as they thought? That she helped a thief rob her own nephew? That she was screwing my husband while I was pregnant? Trust me, Olivia, you don't need me to destroy your life. You already did that all by yourself. Her shoulders sagged. And us? You and me? I looked at her, really looked at her, and saw nothing but a stranger. Whatever bond we had was already dead, buried under years of selfishness, lies, and betrayal. There is no us anymore, Olivia, I said flatly. Then I shut the door in her face. The family drama exploded at Grandma's 80th birthday dinner. I almost skipped it, but Aunt Carol insisted, hold your head high, you did nothing wrong. I walked in with Lucas, and the room went silent. Olivia was in a corner, barely recognizable. No perfect makeup, just a wreck of a person clinging to whatever scraps of dignity she had left. James wasn't there, obviously. My parents were suddenly acting extra nice to Lucas, as if overcompensating for every time they doubted me. Then Amber walked in with her parents. She dyed her hair, like that would erase the shame attached to her name. Several relatives just stood up and left the moment they saw her. Lucas tugged on my hand, looked right at Amber, and in the loudest, most innocent voice asked, "Is that the lady who took my heart money?" The room went dead silent. Amber burst into tears and ran out. Several people actually slow-clapped as she left. Olivia slipped out after her, but not before my dad, who's barely said 2 sentences to me since this all started, stood up and said, "Don't bother coming back tonight, Olivia." I'd never heard him speak to her like that in my entire life. Grandma patted the seat next to her, pointedly leaving Olivia's usual spot empty. As I sat down, Grandma took Lucas's hand and mine and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Family doesn't steal from family. Anyone who thinks otherwise isn't welcome at my table." Several relatives nodded in agreement. My mom was crying quietly in the corner. After dinner, my parents pulled me aside. My dad's eyes were red. "Jenna, we failed you. We always believed Olivia because it was easier. We were wrong, so wrong." He could barely look at me. Mom just hugged me and whispered, "I'm so sorry," over and over. Too little, too late, maybe, but it felt like something had finally broken through, like they were seeing me, really seeing me, for the first time in years. When Lucas and I got home, I tucked him into bed and he asked, "Is everyone mad at Aunt Olivia and Cousin Amber because they took my heart money?" "Yes, buddy," I said. He thought about this for a second. They must be really sad people to do something so mean. Out of the mouths of babes, right? This 7-year-old with a broken heart has more emotional intelligence than both of them combined. Lucas's surgery is scheduled for Monday. His little calendar has a big red heart drawn on the date, and he keeps telling everyone his special heart day is coming. I'm terrified but hopeful. The nurse in me knows all the risks and complications that could happen. The mom in me just wants her baby to be able to run and play without his lips turning blue. I'll update after the surgery. Please send good thoughts, prayers, whatever you believe in, for my little guy. Despite all this drama and betrayal, I keep reminding myself what matters. Lucas is getting his surgery. That's the win here. Everything else is just noise. I'll keep you updated. Hey Reddit, sorry it's been a while since I posted. Been busy with Lucas's surgery and recovery. I can't believe this saga is finally coming to an end, and I just wanted to share how everything turned out. Lucas's surgery was a success. The surgeon said it went even better than expected. His little heart is working properly for the first time in his life. He was in the hospital for 5 days, and watching him recover has been the most incredible thing. He's breathing better already. The doctor says in a few weeks, he'll be able to run and play just like any other kid. The surgery waiting room was interesting. My parents showed up, both looking like they'd aged 10 years. Amber's parents came by with flowers and left quickly. A few nurses from my floor stopped in during their breaks. Even James came by briefly to check on Lucas. Olivia didn't show up, but she texted, "I won't intrude, just let me know when he's out." For once, she read the room correctly. As for Amber and Olivia, karma has been working overtime. Amber took a plea deal, felony theft, 2 years probation, 200 hours of community service and full restitution. Her nursing license application was denied. Duh. She's working at a Starbucks now and living with her parents. Every job interview ends with, "We've decided to go in another direction," once they Google her name. Turns out, employers don't like hiring people who steal surgery money from kids with heart defects. Olivia's life imploded spectacularly. The hospital board did an ethics investigation. They couldn't fire her outright for personal stuff, but they put her on probation and took away her committee positions. Her doctor friends all ghosted her. James got the house and primary custody in the divorce. She's living in some crappy apartment across town with weekend visitation. The day before Lucas's surgery, Olivia texted, asking if she could come see him before the operation. I stared at the message for a good 10 minutes before typing back, "No, not happening." It felt both terrible and amazing to set that boundary. Lucas hadn't asked about her once since the birthday dinner. I wasn't going to let her ease her guilty conscience by playing the concerned aunt now, not after everything. She kept texting, "Please, Jenna, just for 5 minutes. I have a gift for him. I'm still his aunt." I finally responded, "You should have thought about that before you helped steal his surgery money and steal his father too. You're not welcome here." Then I blocked her number. An hour later, a delivery guy showed up with a package. Inside was a flash action figure and an envelope addressed to me. I almost threw it all in the trash, but curiosity got the better of me. Inside was a check for $10,000 and a handwritten note. "I can't undo what I did to you, to Lucas, to our family. I'm in therapy now, trying to understand why I keep hurting the people I'm supposed to love. I'm sorry isn't enough, but it's where I have to start. I don't expect you to forgive me, but please give Lucas the gift. It's not fair to punish him for my mistakes." I set the check aside. Honestly, not sure if I'll cash it, but gave Lucas the flash figure. When he asked who it was from, I just said, "Someone who wants you to get better." He shrugged and went back to playing. Kids are resilient like that. I didn't respond to Olivia's note. I don't think I'll ever talk to her again either. Some betrayals cut too deep for a quick fix. Last week, I heard through the family grapevine that Olivia signed her final divorce papers. James is moving to Seattle with the kids next month. His parents live there and he got a job offer. Olivia will see the kids on holidays and for 2 weeks in summer. That's it. As for me and Lucas, we're doing better than we have in years. Yesterday was the first time Lucas actually ran, across the playground without getting winded or turning blue. I sat on the bench watching him and just sobbed. Some other mom probably thought I was nuts, but I didn't care. 3 months ago, my world imploded. My son's surgery fund stolen, family betrayals exposed, old wounds ripped open. But today, listening to Lucas laugh as he chases his friends around, a sound I'd never fully heard before, I feel something I didn't expect. Peace. Sometimes family is who you choose, not who you're related to. And sometimes, karma delivers exactly what people deserve. Lucas asked me yesterday if his heart was all fixed forever now. I told him yes. Mine might take a little longer, but watching him thrive is the best medicine I could ask for.